All right, thanks, guys. Welcome to the show. And like I said in my earlier upload today, we're currently 3-0 in our last three daily extra picks on my Patreon website. We're also 9-3-1 in our last 13 daily best plays on that site. We do daily premium sports picks on that website, beginning at just $1.99 per month. You can check out my current record for free right now. Link for that site is in the description section below. Once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, we got ourselves a pretty good slate of college basketball action here tonight, so let's go ahead and dive into it, beginning with the Golden Gophers of Minnesota taking on the Buckeyes. 6:30 Eastern tip-off at Ohio State. The Buckeyes are the 7.5-point favorite, total at 134. Now, we did see a half a point move toward Ohio State and movement upward on the total. The Buckeyes open as the 7-point favorite, up to minus 7.5. Total open 133, up to 134. 57% of the consensus are leaning toward Ohio State. 64% shaded toward the over. And right now, Minnesota's plus 310 on the money line. Now, the Golden Gophers have successfully covered the point spread in 6 out of their last 9 games. They rank in the top 40 in the nation in offensive rebounding. Daniel Oturu, 20 points a game, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks. He's been an absolute scoring machine. Marcus Carr, 16 points a game, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. And Gabe Kalscher, 12 points a game, 3 rebounds for the Gophers. Minnesota is averaging 73 points per contest. Now, the Buckeyes on the other side, kind of struggling as of late. Losers of 5 out of their last 6. They've also failed to cover the point spread in 7 out of their last 9. Now, 5 out of Ohio State's last 8 games stayed under the number. They're also 7-4 to the under at home. Meanwhile, 6 out of Minnesota's last 8 away from home stayed under the total as well. I like the road dog in this one. I am going to purchase the half a point, buy it up, and lean Minnesota plus 8 and the under 134 in that contest. Next matchup, I don't think it's on our board here, but it is a game of interest. It is Washington taking on Utah, and that's going to be an 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that game. And I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, that's Washington taking on Utah, 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Utah. Now, the Huskies are the 1-point favorite on the road, total at 134. We did see a half a point fade of Washington and movement downward on the total. The Huskies open 1.5 down to -1. Total open 135 down to 134. 61% are leaning Utah, 59% shaded toward the under. The running Utes are 6-1 straight up at home this year. They're averaging 80 points per contest on their home court. Timmy Allen, he's averaging 20 points a game, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Both Gatch, 11 points a game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. And Rylan Jones, 10 points a game, 5 assists for him. Utah is shooting 49% from the field on their home court. They're also shooting 38.2% from downtown on their home court as well. They're also giving up just 68 points per contest at home. Their opponents are shooting just 40% from the field in the friendly confines and just 29% from downtown in that same category. Washington, on the other side, struggling as of late, losers of 5 out of their last 7. They also went just 2-5 against the spread in those 7 games. They're averaging just 61 points per contest when traveling. They're also shooting 38% from the field on the road and just 23% from downtown when traveling. Now, Washington is 6-0 to the under in their last 6. No real surprise there. They're also 13-6 to the under overall for the year. I'm going to lean Utah plus 1 and the under 134 in that contest. Next game, Michigan State taking on Indiana, 8:30 Eastern tip-off. Sparty's minus 3.5, total at 142. We saw a half a point move toward Michigan State and movement upward on the total. The Spartans open as the 3-point favorite, up to minus 3.5. Total open 140.5, up to 142. 53% are leaning Michigan State, 52% on the over. Right now, Indiana's plus $1.50 on the money line. Now, the Hoosiers have failed to cover the point spread in 6 out of their last 8. They're also just 30% against the spread in their last 10. Offensively, they're shooting 29% from downtown. That's terrible. Now, Michigan State on the other side, winners of 9 out of their last 10. Victories over the likes of Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, and Rutgers. They rank in the top 35 in scoring on average per game. Top 5 in the nation in offensive rebounding. Cassius Winston, 18 points a game, 6 assists. He's shooting 87% from the stripe. Xavier Tillman, 14 points a game, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks. And, of course, Aaron Henry, he's averaging 10 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Sparty ranks in the top 15 in defensive field goal percentage. They're also in the top 15 in the nation in defending the 3-ball. They're averaging 78 points per contest. Meanwhile, they're giving up just 63 points per game. Their opponents are shooting just 37% from the field. Total-wise, Indiana, 7-5 to the over on their home court. I'm going to lean Michigan State minus 3.5 and the over 142 in that game. And before we, go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for Thursday's college basketball action. Happy Thursday to you. The weekend is right around the corner. So close, you can smell it. But anyway, before we go ahead and move on, just got to quickly remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where once again we do daily premium sports picks on that website, beginning at just $1.99 per month. We have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. We're currently over 700 patrons on that website, so you're not alone. There's a lot of folks that are on board and enjoy the content there. Like I said, we have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. One of our packages is called the Daily Extra Play. It's $2.99 through the rest of the month, and we are currently 3-0 in our last 3 Daily Extra Play picks on that site. We're also 9-3 with a push in our last 13 Daily Best Plays. The Daily Best Play is another package that we offer there, and that is just $1.99 through the end of the month. If you're wondering, well, why would I buy a pick or a package from you when, Brock gives me the picks for free on YouTube? You're certainly right. I do give you free picks here on YouTube, but the problem with that is if you were going to bet every single game on the board side and total, the math becomes aggressively against you. You're not going to win any money. You're going to lose your money in the long run. You'll probably end up losing it in the short run. And like I said, the math becomes aggressively against you when you play every single game on the board, side and total, throwing darts. So what we do on Patreon, I make life a lot easier for you. I narrow it down to 3 to 4 premium picks per day. There are premium selections, games that I personally have action on, high percentage picks. And I'll tell you what, my current Patreon record is a whole lot better than it is here on YouTube, throwing darts, picking every game on the board. So if you want to check out my current record, you can do that for free right now. Link for that site is in the description section below. Once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. But if you just want to enjoy the YouTube content for free, that's cool too, man. No problem. No worries. That's why I do it. I love doing this stuff. I'm a broadcasting guy. I'm not any good, so I could never break into the industry. So I just do it on YouTube for my own personal edification. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive back into some more free lines of personal leans right here on YouTube. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got UConn taking on Houston, 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off. The Cougars opened 8.5 up to -9. Total open 132 down to 131 and a hook. 63% are on Houston, 73% on the over. UConn's plus 375 on the money line. UConn's lost 4 out of their last 5 games. They're shooting just 40% from the field when traveling. They're also shooting just 25% from downtown on the road as well. They failed to cover the point spread in 3 out of their last 5. Now, Houston on the other side, they're pretty hot right now. 8-1 straight up in their last 9. They also successfully covered the point spread in 8 out of those 9 games. They rank in the top 3 in the nation in offensive rebounding. They're also holding their opponents to just 36% from the field on their home court. Total-wise, Houston's 3-0 to the under in their last 3. UConn 70% to the under in their last 10. Give me Houston -9 and the under 131.5 in that contest. Next game, Washington State taking on Colorado. And that's going to be a 10 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that game. And that is not currently on our board in the back. But let's go ahead and break down that game. Once again, Washington State taking on the Buffaloes of Colorado, 10 o'clock Eastern tip-off. The Buffaloes open 14 down to -13. Total open 138 up to 139. Right now, Washington State is plus $10 on the money line. Now, the Cougars are 3-2 straight up in their last 5 victories against the likes of Oregon State, Oregon, and UCLA during that stretch. They're averaging 72 points per contest. Meanwhile, they're giving up just 66 points per game. Now, Colorado, on the other side, just 4-6 against the spread on their home court. They are 70% to the over when playing at home, however. So I'm going to lean Washington State plus 13 and the over 139 in that game. All right, another game that is not on our, or actually it is on our board. It is the Dons of San Francisco taking on St. Mary's, 10:30 Eastern tip-off. St. Mary's open as the 10-point favorite, down to -9. Total open 144, down to 142 and a hook. Right now, San Francisco, they are plus 375 on the money line. The Dons are 3-0 straight up in their last 3. They rank in the top 30 in scoring. They're averaging 79 points per contest. San Francisco also ranks in the top 15 in defensive rebounding on the road. Now, St. Mary's, they've dropped 2 out of their last 4. They also went just 1-3 against the spread in those 4 games. They failed to cover against the likes of Santa Clara, BYU, and University of Pacific. St. Mary's, not so good against the number when they're on their home court. They're just 3-7 against the spread at home this year. St. Mary's 3-1 to the over in their last 4, 70% to the over in their last 10. I'm going to lean toward the Dons getting the job done on the road. Give me San Francisco plus 9 and the over 142.5 in that contest. Next game, UCLA taking on Oregon State, 11 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that game. Oregon State open -8, down to -7.5. Total open 138.5, down to 137 and a hook. 61% are leaning Oregon State, 53% on the under. Right now, the Bruins of UCLA, they are plus $3 on the money line. Now, if you like the Bruins, just keep in mind they've dropped 5 out of their last 7 away from home. They're also just 2-6 straight up in their last 8 games. They lost to a struggling North Carolina squad. They also lost to Cal State Fullerton. UCLA, they're averaging just 67 points per contest. Meanwhile, defensively, their opponents are shooting 37.2% from beyond the arc. Now, Oregon State on the other side, 8-1 straight up at home this year. They're averaging 80 points per contest in the friendly confines. They also rank in the top 35 in the country in home offensive field goal percentage, and they're in the top 25 in home offensive three-point percentage. Now, 7 out of Oregon State's last 9 home games did get over the number. Pretty chalky lean here. I'm going to lean Oregon State -7.5 and the over 137.5 in that contest. Next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be USC taking on Oregon, 11 o'clock Eastern tip-off. The Ducks opened as the 9-point favorite, up to -9.5. Total open 138.5, up to 139 and a hook. 53% are leaning Oregon, 69% on the over. Right now, USC is plus $4 on the money line. The Trojans, red hot right now. Winners of 9 out of their last 10. They rank in the top 25 in the country in offensive rebounding. They're also in the top 40 in defensive field goal percentage. Now, Oregon, on the other side, they failed to cover the point spread in 3 out of their last 4. They also went just 3-5 against the spread in their last 8. The Ducks are 60% to the over in their last 10. They're also 70% to the over on their home court. I'm going to lean USC plus 10 and the over 139.5 in that game. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are currently 9-3 with a push in our last 13 daily best plays on that website. Shout out to Mad Clown, Dr. Vidensvig. Shout out to SoundOff078, Chris Nasca, Rokendrick Cannon, Demetrius Milonis, DJ717. DJ717, maybe he's from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That's my guess. I've got a weird thing with area codes. You give me an area code, I know where it's at. I don't know. It's like a weird, I'm like Rain Man. But anyway, shout out to Mac McKenzie, Ricky Braun, KJ, Thibault7996, Marley Kenny, Oswald Diaz, Stephen Lewis, my friend from Western Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh Gentleman, PA, and last but certainly not least, shout out to Straight to the Point. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. I certainly enjoy producing it for you each and every day, 365 days out of the year, even when I was on my honeymoon and my wedding day. I don't miss a day because I need it. I need to do it. I need to connect with you guys each and every day. So once again, I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.